Nathan Harris, I'm the vocalist of Galeej.
I'm Naveen Thomas and I play guitars.
I'm Anant Menon, I also play guitar.
I'm Kishan Balaji, I play the drums.
I'm Matthew, play the bass.
I don't think there was a real exact starting date, but I think the process of forming the current band started in the year 2000. Matthew, Anant and I, we were in the same college, and we started together in college. And we started as a college band, and we qualified as a college band, represented the college, went on to the semi-pro level, and now at the pro level. So it's taken us, it took us what, a good 5 years, was it?
Yeah, easy.
Roughly around 5 years to form the band, what it is today. And it's taken 7 more to perfect what we do.
For a long time we told everyone that, well, I won't go into it, but we made up this nice story about Galeej, 2 gurus, and basically the Mad Ads team, the Jamsharaj team in college came up with it as one of their themes. And we said, hey, that's a cool name, and that's how we got our name, to set the record straight.
That's science.
The best creativity is using somebody else's ideas.
Yeah.
But I think our music is what I call it just straight ahead rock. Because I think all our influences musically are very different. But I think it's since it's amalgamation, it's just, but we try and keep it very straight ahead rock as far as possible. Because we have a tune that you can sing along to, it's still got grooves, it's got technicality, it's got a little bit of everything, but it's something that you can just tap your foot to. So, like straight ahead rock music, you can tap your foot to is Galeej.
So for example, Make Some Noise is a song that we wrote some time ago, and what that song talks about is basically breaking away from the idea, somebody else's idea of a perfect person, and being yourself. And in order to be yourself, it might seem like an awkward idea, you might seem like an awkward impression to somebody else, but you're still being yourself. So go ahead, you want to make some noise, be yourself. And the underlying foundation of it is talking about promoting that emotion or that feeling that somebody wants to feel or is trying to promote within themselves. So that's what most of our lyrics are based on just general emotion, human emotions.
Like I said, Blind was really a song where we really said, let's try to write something a little more mellow, write something with a little more meaning, let's take something slightly deep, but still have even though it's modern, has a little more jazz blues feel to it. And so I came in with some chords that I really liked, and something that I really enjoyed playing, and we just sat and we jammed, and we got like a little idea for Blind. And actually I thought it was one of the fastest songs we wrote. It was pretty much fell in place almost immediately, and it sounded different. It doesn't sound like a lot of our other songs, but it still has the vibe that Galeej brings to it. It was very interesting, and I really enjoyed playing. It's one of my favorite songs to play as well. So.
Where Were You Yesterday is the latest song that we've written. We wrote that song just before we opened for Con last month. No, this month. This month? Yeah. So, and what we wanted to do was try something a little different with this song. We wanted to write our ideal opening song, because we didn't really have it. Normally our starts to concerts aren't very extensively choreographed, but we wanted to have a song that would actually build up the climax and the emotion and really give it that concert feel, like at the start of the show, like start with a big concert. So that's what our idea was, and we put together this song. Just a line that came in my head, and it was a question I wanted to ask one of the guys because they didn't show up for practice previous day. And in my head I was, should I ask? Where were you yesterday? And I think subconsciously I kind of wrote that down somewhere on my phone and I kept it there, and I was sitting late one night listening to the tune, the instrumentation, and for some reason that line just stuck in my head, and I said, okay fine, let's just write something up. So this just saved me a whole lot of trouble trying to come up with a new concept. So, but that's where I got the title for the song, but the song basically talks about someone that you were expecting to see the day before, and then you happen to bump into that same person, and you want to ask, out of a suspicious state of mind, you want to ask that person, where were you yesterday?
I can't explain why things keep happening to me. And your love and mystery lies up with a ray.
I remember Physiological because that was the time, I think until then, we only written songs purely out of jamming. Like we'd all be playing together and something somewhere would stick and that would become a song. And then I think Nathan said one day, we should write, instead of sort of just free jamming everything out, we should write out a proper, like instead of just write it out properly. And I think he came up with the riff, the opening riff for Physiological Breakdown. And then we sort of took over. Was it Fuzzy?
Fuzzy.
Oh, Fuzzy. Our last drummer, he came up with that riff. And it sort of developed from there and became a song.
'Cause I can't see you, I can't hear you, I can't leave you, even miles away. I can't see you, I can't feel you, I can't leave you. Where were you yesterday?
High Above was one of the first couple of songs that we wrote together as a band, and back then we were concentrating on a lot on harmonies and basically more melodic and then harmonic singing. Yeah, that was our strong point back then. And High Above lyrically was a song, I think when I wrote the song, the lyrics of the song, what I was trying to get at was, in my head I had this picture of an eagle flying high above, and I've always had a lot of admiration for birds because they have a totally different perspective on what we don't see, and I think I let that idea kind of drive me when writing the lyrics of the song.
We were seated around, lost in the sound of a coffee shop playing the blues.
Festival, well, it was
There were two parts to the Desert Rock Festival. There was Shamal and there was Desert Rock Festival. Shamal was a competition of bands in the Asia region. That was the bands in the Asia region from Middle East, from and all across Asia, where I think according to a few hundred bands had to send their demos across, and they chose the best 10 or 12 or something like that. And these bands were flown into Dubai. We had to play at the competition. And there were two levels to the competition. There's some prelims and then there was a finals. And the best 3 bands were taken into the finals and stuff like that. And yeah, and I think we won best all selection process. Yeah. And the band that won got to play the main festival with Gone, Velvet Revolver, Muse, Kill Switch Engage, As I Lay Dying. There's a bunch of bands, and it was just Machine Head. It was good fun. And we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was great because it was a journey from first getting a demo sent in to qualifying to going there, and it was just an incredible journey overall for the band. Nothing has been released. We've actually recorded different versions of the album at different points of time, and we've shelved them because we never really. That was not really what we were looking at, and it didn't sound the way we wanted it to. It didn't have the flavor we wanted.
No, I mean, we've been recording all the way back since college, and every time something the college one was complete shit. So we threw that one out. The next one, I think, when we recorded, the lineup changed, so we couldn't use that.
There were additions, some people came
stuff
in
like that kept happening.
with the
We
keyboard.
changed the songs too much and stuff like that was one reason.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened, but right now we're almost done with the album. Once I go and punch in I have a couple of solos to finish, and I think the entire recording process is over. So I think over the next week onwards, I think we're going to be starting with the mix down of the songs and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to hearing how that sounds, and hoping that by the end of October, November types, we should be able to get that out. You have to physically get copies of your CD across from place to place. The entire
a lot of logistics.
There's a lot of logistics. Tracking is really hard. It just becomes really painful proposition. But really getting it out on the online space and just makes it easier for people to access anywhere in the globe. So I put it up. It's as long as I market it online or I push it online or try and figure out a way to get it viral, it can reach anywhere.
So I think the idea of the whole concept of ArtistAloud has replaced the concept of a big, like a Universal Studios or
Universal EMI,
all of these things. Yeah. So I think that's how it works.
I think also the beauty of this is really is the fact that it's very accessible. You can still access them. It's not like before, for a label to really get to you, you really need to be huge to really get to them. And here you can even try a few songs, and I think that's really the key. You can put a few songs out, get the music out, see how it works, and then come back and say, how could I? And I think ArtistAloud also has various other platforms to promote the music that's on their portal as well. So I think it's just incredible. So
I think it's great. I think any of those options, single, 1-2 songs, or the album, I think if you don't want to do the whole album, like if you want to release a single, you can just put one song aside just for that, and you're still good to go for the rest of it. So I think it's a good idea.
Hey, hey!